This is Elise from Cycle 9, and I'm here with Dave today. He's famous from our banana ride, and he's graciously agreed to give an interview today about bike safety, and so here we are. So Dave recently had an accident, unfortunately, so why don't you tell us briefly what happened?
It was dark, it was before sunrise, and I was on my way to work. I commute to work, and I have been for the last 4 years, and I was waiting to turn left onto a road, and I was waiting for the intersection to clear, and a semi was going by, and just after it cleared the intersection, but before I had started to turn, I heard the squeal of brakes behind me, and a second later I was on the hood of a Volkswagen sedan, and a split second after that, my left buttock was slamming into his windshield. I made the passenger half of his windshield completely opaque.
Wow.
Just my bike stayed down low, it didn't get up onto the car, but I did. And the amazing thing is, I got up and I walked away from it. I was slightly injured. I had some very small cuts and one deeper gash in my ankle that took 10 stitches. And I found out later I have a broken tailbone. But that's it. I mean, it's amazing.
Wow.
He probably hit me at, I don't know, 20 or 25 miles an hour, and
yeah.
Most people are paralyzed, or
yeah.
Nasty things happen.
So you went up over the car and landed behind it?
No, I landed in front of it, but I got the level of his hood was just about the level of my bike seat. So when he hit me, it collapsed my rear wheel, but it pushed me directly on, slid me right onto his hood, and then onto, up against his windshield. And then by that time he had stopped completely, and I fell off the front and didn't get run over or anything. I got hit, but not run over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but even with that, I still think biking is safe. I mean, I haven't been back on my bike yet, but I still believe that it's the best way to get around. The best way to move locally is by bike.
Mm-hmm. So you still feel somewhat comfortable riding even after being in an accident?
Yeah, I think there are things I could do. I mean, I became very complacent and assumed that the 2 red flashing lights that I was using were enough to make me seen. One at the helmet level and one down at the seat. But in this instance, it wasn't enough. I mean, he didn't. The first question I asked him was, "Did you see me?" Mm-hmm. And he said no.
Mm-hmm. And this was in the dark, right? It was early morning in the dark.
Yeah. So I have to rethink, what I'm going to do. I need to be even more visible than that. And I have a mirror, and normally I would use it. I mean, in this case, there's so little traffic that I can track. I hear a car behind me, and I immediately look in my mirror and I see how they're coming along and what tack they're taking. And in the 4 years I've been commuting, there's never been a problem. But it was partly my fault, and I'd say mostly his fault. But you go through life and you do what you do, and you figure out how to be safer. It'd be real easy to hate the guy, and I don't. I feel compassion for him. I feel like we all need to figure out how to be together, cars and bikes on the road.
Yeah.
Figure out how to make it work.
Right. So in this case, you were waiting to turn left, so you were in the lane waiting where you normally would.
I was right in the middle of the lane, just like a car would be.
Right.
And I think maybe in the future, at that intersection, at that time of day, I may elect to be way off on the right. Let cars that don't see me zip on by.
Right. So maybe stay over to the right and look look back like you were going to cross like a intersection or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, when I first talked to Dave, it was, I think, the same day or maybe the day after.
It might have been the day after.
Yeah, the accident, and he was still recovering, but I think you were still feeling like you wanted to get bike again. You were a little cautious, but
Yeah.
you definitely wanted to get started biking back again.
Yeah. It's interesting. How I've evolved in thinking about biking. I really want to do it.
Well, so still dedicated. So is
Yeah.
there any advice you would have for people?
Be more visible.
Be more visible?
Don't assume that just because whatever you've worked out for 4 years is enough. You have to go even farther. Like I stopped wearing a reflective vest just because I thought I was good. And I'd add in all kinds of stuff. I may put flashing lights on 6-foot tall poles just to make myself look like a semi that, down. So if a car's down in a dip, they'll see me no matter what.
Do you think part of it is just we kind of get used to our normal routine and then we kind of get more complacent and
That's
sort of...
Yeah, I think that there's a lot to that.
Yeah.
You can't, I've been passed by several thousand cars without any incident. And, it makes you complacent. You don't feel like you're in danger. You're not in a war zone.
Right. Well, I suppose it's the same for, like, driving a car. I mean, we feel very safe when we're driving a car, but people get in accidents and get injured and killed, and you hear about it. I used to drive on I-40, the interstate, and saw some bad accidents. And every time I'd see one, I'd be like, oh, well, that's not me, but it makes you think, I guess.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So what would you say is the main reason you like to bike or enjoy biking?
It makes me feel good. It makes me feel real energized. I like the wind in my face, and I like being out in all the different weather that there is. It feels honest. I like the fact that I can make my own gasoline. I make an omelet in the morning, and that's my gasoline.
Yep, it gets you to the energy that gets you to work.
Yeah, the cyclist is, you're an alternative fuel engine.
Yeah,
I like that.
Good.
And I like just being out where you can talk to people and you can interact easily. You're not in a box and closed off from everything.
Yeah.
You see somebody on the sidewalk and it's easy to chat with them.
Yeah, stop and say hello.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Well, good. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're relatively well, and
I am too.
Yeah.
I hope to discover the best kind of bicycle seat for a broken tailbone.
Okay. Let us know when you find that.
Yes, I will.
Well, great. Well, thank you very much for agreeing to chat on video.
All right. I'm impressed that a store that sells bikes wants to hear about bicycle accidents.
It's part of life.
Okay.
Hopefully a very small part.
Yes.
Yes, very good. Okay, well, this is Elise from Cycle 9 signing off, and we'll see you soon.